Hey everyone. I'd like to talk about patience. Patience is something that we refer to in Zen Buddhism as one of the six perfections. There's patience, paramita, the perfection of patience. There's five others too, I won't go into right now, but when we usually think about patience, we usually we think about it in terms of something that we ourselves need to be more of. But what I want us to, and that's a fine way to think about patience, but it doesn't give us a lot of support. So I wanna consider patience from an evolutionary perspective. This is about evolutionary patience. Condense the entire history of the universe into the hour, the last hour before midnight. Human beings would be about 2 seconds before the stroke, would have appeared in the universe about 2 seconds before the stroke of midnight. Think about all of that time that has elapsed and all the many things that have taken place prior to our appearance in the universe. It took some 2 million years ago, human beings dropped out of trees and began to walk upright and to sit upright. Just an amazing thing that happened for us. And now we sit upright. And this happened some 2 million years ago. And think about the evolution of animals and fish and plant life. All of these things. It took millions of years of creatures living only in the water, in the oceans, start to come out of the oceans. And so we see the plant life first emerges out of the ocean onto the land and starts to spread on the soil into soil. Right? Millions and millions of years. And it's very hard for us to imagine that length of time. We don't necessarily see change in one lifetime. In one lifetime, we don't see anything happening. It seems like everything's almost static. But if we take an evolutionary perspective on change, we actually can begin to see change take place, but it takes place so slowly and with such subtlety that we don't notice it in the span of one lifetime. So we've got to have an evolutionary historical perspective on life. And then we start to see, oh, change does happen. It just happens really, really slow and over millions of years of time. And it's hard for us to get our minds wrapped around that. So let's come back to patience. Let's come back to evolutionary patience. And like I said at the beginning, we tend to think of patience in terms of, I'm not patient, right? In terms of an individual self. But I want us to rethink the way that we perceive of this concept of patience within Buddhism and just even without Buddhism, rethink how we think of patience, that the universe itself has patience built into it. And we can see that patience when we think in terms of evolutionary time, in terms of these great epics of time where change took place, but it happened so slowly and so subtly that it's taken so long for humans to even be able to perceive of this change. Being a product of the universe, we have this evolutionary patience built into us. And our work is to establish a connection or an alignment between our bodies and the body of the universe. And if we do that, we align our bodies with the body of the universe, we can connect with that evolutionary patience. Now, I say this about evolutionary patience, but this does not mean we should not do everything we can in our lifetime to affect change in the positive direction. By change, I mean I'm referring to social justice and ecological justice. We should do everything we can within our lifetime to affect positive change, to bring in a world that our future generations can live in. We definitely need to work hard at that. But at the same time, we need to connect with that long millions and billions of years of, of evolutionary patience that comes before us. We have that built into us. It's built into our DNA. How do you think we came to be? And yet, we often get caught in this idea that things aren't happening quick enough. We're only thinking in terms of human scale, right? The human mind can only take in so much. We can only take in so much. We can only perceive so much. We need to draw support from the universe, and how the universe has incredible patience built into us. In the Vimalakirti Sutra, it talks about the patient endurance of the uncreate. The patient endurance of the uncreate. We have that within us. We have that patience within us. And that's not to say there won't be times when we get extraordinarily impatient. And this is not to shame us for getting impatient. We're going to be impatient at times. But when we have a sitting practice, a Zen meditation practice, what might it be like to connect with this evolutionary patience, the patience of the universe? What might it be like? What might it feel like for the duration of a sitting period to connect with evolutionary patience? And I want to encourage you in your sitting practice, when you're practicing shikantaza, to connect with this evolutionary patience of the universe. What does that feel like inside? It's inside of us. It's inside of us. We don't have to find it. It's not that it's absent from us. We have impatience inside of us too, but we have this incredible evolutionary patience. What is it? What is it?